and multiply in front of God. Ba, ba, ba. Ba, ba. Mm. We look up. That will help. Better days coming for sure. If it was up to me, I wouldn't get it so. What's the strike upon? You guys, it's about to be a very. I'm praying to God, like, I'm like, longer life giving and bringing, because God promised it and God's going to bring it. But most of all, we have to promise that to ourselves. Trying to see where it's at. If I bring the window, better days coming. What are you? So, what's up with y'all? How are y'all doing? Hope everybody is okay. Doing good. Thank you for the like. Hope everybody is okay. And it's gonna be okay. These things are only temporary. It's like, ooh, it's like labor pains, but it's okay. Hi, LH. What's up, Peppy for Life? What's up, hey y'all? What's up, Betty Betty? Thank you. Oh, my hair is moisturized right now. It is September. We are protesting everything that is. I was already doing that anyway, but you know, I'm here for it to buckle down even more, to you know, support those businesses. Not going. I wasn't. I stopped shopping at Target. I going. Oh well. I went to Target last year. That was like the last time. I was going to get my nails from Target. What's up? Oh, I do not know how to spell your name. Edits. What's up, Edits? Like and so you like this up. Thank you. Thank you, LH. Appreciate y'all. How y'all doing? Like, share, and subscribe. Thank you guys. We almost to 500, y'all. I don't know what I'm gonna do when we get to 500, but I do plan on giving stuff away as soon as I get the PO box and everything settled. I do plan on. Today I just been chillaxing. I just been going through my emotions, reflecting today, like I do every day, but really just diving deeper into that. So that's what I've been doing for sure. But I'm doing good. Like I feel good. I feel better. My eyes are probably gonna be swollen a little bit tomorrow. I didn't cry that bad, but I don't know. Like now, since I got older or something about it. It's like when I cry, my eyes get puffy. So I'm like, what the heck? That's what's up, LH. Yeah, it's healthy, especially good right now with the transits going on. For sure. Like my whole like y'all. Oh, to Gloria? Is somebody named Gloria up here? No. What's up, Zane Zane? Hey, Morrison. Thank y'all for tapping in. Like, share, subscribe. Thank you guys. But yeah, I'm good. Just sitting here reflecting. I'm like really trying to like go deep, real deep, and be real for real. Like some things. All right, you be great as well, huh? Thanks for tapping in. You said I need a new phone. How you know? I really do. I really do. Honestly, I need a new phone. All right, love. LH, be great. Talk to you later. You be great. But yeah, I do. I need a new phone. It would. Well, I don't know. I don't think it has too much problems, but I think it just be blurry sometimes. I don't know. I don't know what this guy did to my phone. My phone has not been the same ever since I let this man put his hands on my phone. And I let somebody else fix my phone last year, and I had no problems. I honestly wish there would have been a way for me to like take my phone back to the same guy, but it's not possible right now. Okay, how you know I sound like a grandma? What does a grandma sound like? That sounds odd, very odd, but and very random. My sideburns were to come out, so I pulled them out. But we're gonna be going over a few things, like some things that are going on concurrently, and just what we need to work on, what we need to focus on, healing the inner child. A lot of trauma being exposed and released, like it's crazy. I'm like, damn, it's really overwhelming for me. Like, if y'all know anything about my journey, I literally to do for me and my children's safety. So, um, for a lot of the stuff to be coming out true right now on from here, I will for sure. So, inside my bones, it goes electric, baby, when I turn it on. And if you want it, the Trolls movie, like, and how they was just gonna serve them up, how they was. Y'all gotta think this is exactly how these people do. Exactly how they do. And we be on the menu. That was another thing I got last month or so. I was like, I don't want to be the cookie. I don't want to be the cookie. Yeah, it's crazy. People are trying to eat and feed off of your energy. It's absolutely crazy. So it's and amazing things can happen. Honestly, that's one of the main things. Whoa, hold on. I can do magic. I can do. I can do. Okay, let me go to the playlist. Let me get it so we can get started. Very interesting topic. What was I watching earlier? Hold on. Now I gotta remember what I was watching. This download I got, it led me to this video. I wonder. It's not gonna be. It's definitely not gonna be. I think I was on this phone, so fuck. Hmm. Well, let's see. Download will come back. That's ultimately what happens. Oh shit! Stop. African history and development is the YouTube channel.
We are made up of clans.
Okay, I want to go back to originally how he started.
Under the he was of the Mandinka. Full name was Samori ibn Lafia Thiore. He was of the Mandinka.
Oh, I know what I was watching. Okay, look, that movie Free. So y'all can look it up on YouTube. I haven't posted it on Movie Night 2 yet. Um, so in the movie, the preacher's wife, what happened was he was looking at the computer. Here we go with the fucking computers again. He was looking at the computer. We was looking at the computer. He was looking at the computer and he was like, he was like, fishies in the like in the computer screen, like on the TV screen. That's what he was thinking it was, right? And so he takes out his little angel handbook and he's like, what is this? And then he like bumped the keyboard or something, and then it said Windows. So he grabs his little angel handbook, he opens it up, and it says Windows, and then it says right next to it, it says let me see, hold on, wait, I think was I watching a movie on this phone? Yeah, I was. Hold on, let me see. Let me go to the scene so I can show y'all what I'm talking about. Wait, it's before then. Relax the body. The body. Relax. I'm not tense and shit. I know it's when I get tense, I just start relaxing the body. So was it before this scene or after? to proclaim one day an angel said quietly, soon may God bring something special to me. Damn, her face, she look pissed. And of all of the wonderful gifts he will bring, who would imagine a king? It was so clear when the wise men arrived. Is this when he got mad? Yes, when he got mad, so it was before this. I took a screenshot, but I should have took a screenshot of it with the timestamp on it. Oh, there you go. Wait, is this it? No, this ain't it. He's walking back and forth talking to her. A guy right next to the windows picture in his phone. I mean, in his book, his angel handbook that he had. Was it after he left? After they took the little boy? This movie made me cry, and then I watched it with new eyes too. Like, let heaven receive her king. Let every heart prepare him room. Let every heart. You gotta make your heart right. I think it was before. Was it? I think it was right after the scene. Mm. You were ready, something special to me. And of all the wonderful gifts he will bring, who would imagine? Who would imagine? Who would imagine a king? Low down, dirty shame. They just released that movie too. What the fuck? Ain't that a bitch? This motherfucker just cut off. I used to be like, the, that's my song. That's my story. That's my song. Praising my Savior all day long. This is my story. This is my song. Singing my praises all day long. I used to be like, stop singing that song. That's my song. And then just the way that stuff happened. I'm like, oh my God. Why did it take forever to find this scene? And there's nothing. I think it's amazing she did such a transition too from this movie and Preacher's Wife, not Whitney Houston, but the other lady that played the receptionist. I think it's amazing that she went from that to that one witchcraft movie. I just think that's showing the dynamic as well of the transition of what's like really going on, and makes the difference. I just already went through this. Okay, let me try this again. Okay. It's tripping me out. See, I'm not taking notes like I used to. Oh yeah, there he goes. Okay, I found it. I found it. Okay.
You know how to spell his name? No. You want to learn? Yeah. All right, Hakeem. Starts with an H? An H with Hakeem. There you go. Perfect. Wow. Fishies in a TV.
There he goes. Windows. Windows wet. Or is it backwards? Moist. Say moist. Let me put it up. So in this scene on Preacher's Wife, Samsonoy, I got Samsonoy. So from that, I got Samsonoy. Now let's see where that takes us in what we were just watching. Oh, that's trippy. I'm surprised it didn't go straight back. To where I headed to.
A soldier under the Mandinka. But before entering the army, he was into trading. He was one of the gold traders before entering the army. But his entrance into the army was pushed by his intention to secure the release of his mother. Headed by a different chief. Each of the clans were headed by different chiefs. Another clan chief raided his own clan, and his mother was captured. Precisely the Sise clan.
Now let me show y'all what this look like for real. It looks like this looks like the United States. It looks like the west coast of the United States. Before it was Canada, before it was split up, before it was any of, those other lines dividing the states. That's what it looks like to me. Oh crap. And I'm dropping the phone.
Raided his clan, and his mother was seized or was captured. So he One of the things that made him to join the army was he left the SSA army and started building his own army. When he was born around 1830, so all through his life,
He said he was born around 1830.
After the earliest part of his life, he started trading. The Mandinka, some parts of the Mandinka were really known as traders involved in even inter-states trading. Well, with this establishing an empire, and also most class of the Mandinka and the non-Mandinka towards establishing an empire. This is where some issues of debate come to be presented by some historians. So historians look at his actions as a jihad, presented by some historians. So historians look at
his empire is referred to as Wasau Lao Empire or Mandinka. I think people be making fun of that name because I've heard Mandingo, but I don't know necessarily where they got that from, but possibly the same type of reference
actions
as to the tribe.
As a jihad, but some historians do not see his activities as a jihad, an empire. Samori Tore cannot be said to be, cannot actually be called a devoted Muslim per se. But along the line, he started taking Islamic practices and principles serious. But with the army he built, he started forcing order, establishment of an empire. His rise as part of the Mandinka gave rise to a larger political formation.
Hey, get off there.
Which actually brought together many other clans and divided his army into corps. Each corps was stationed at strategic places for expansion. Well, he was also very good in putting up some diplomatic relationship. This helps him to secure arms from the Sierra Leone area. He had some good relationship in the early stage with the British, and with this, he was able to secure some ammunition. But locally, Samori had industries, or established industries where he.
So, like I said, I'm pretty sure this is only over the past few hundred years that they've erased history and came up with their own doctrine and their own story. No lie. It's crazy.
His local weapon manufacturing industry.
Because y'all gotta remember, they mirrored everything from the United States. Look, and it's a mirroring number 1001 from United States to Africa to mix up history after Adam left.
Employed over 400 blacksmiths on a permanent basis. These blacksmiths were able to produce about 12 guns in a week and about 200 to 300 cartridges a day. Well, with his military power, he defeated Famudo, the chief of Kamadugu, and made Bizandugu his capital in 1866. From there, he started the process of building an empire. He gained the control after he gave himself a political and a religious title called Amani. Well, his principal aim was to, as I said earlier, to bring together all Mandinka and other non-Mandinka territories.
Look, if I show y'all these pictures, these don't look like mountains that they would have. These look like United States mountains. Let me show y'all. I'm not saying that they wouldn't have mountains like that, but I'm just saying. From whatever I've seen over in Africa, the mountains don't really typically look like this. They're way more lush, and they would have been way more lush, especially due to the habitat.
Into a political union, and that was what he achieved, which was creating the Mandinka Empire. During this period for the scramble for territories in Africa by the Europeans, he started having a running battle with the French. The French wanted to expand their powers from the Senegal area up to the Lake Chad area. In pursuance of this, the French forces or the French controllers, under the supervision of Galliani, occupied Bamako in around 1883 and came in conflict with the Samori forces. And the Samori forces were able to effectively resist the French advances. Well, the French, at the time, after the conflict, the French...
1883? He said submarine forces? 1883 submarine forces. Huh. Keep that in mind.
They were able to occupy his capital, that was Bizandugu, in 1891. And Samori was forced to operate further east when the British were working towards occupying the north of Ashanti region in order to forestall. Samori continued his struggle against the French until around 1898 when he was captured and sent.
They're saying this took place around the region of the Congo, like thousands of miles around the Congo, not just the Congo.
Well, some Europeans saw Samori as a slave raider, but objective analysis attempt to prove that although there was he may have been involved in slave raiding, but his major intention was basically to establish a strong political unit, which he succeeded in establishing before the country system. He used some strategic and positive tactical approach in his military. He did not station his army in a permanent or fortified position because he had no artillery, but quick-firing rifles. For this reason, it was difficult for any enemy to be in a position or be able to pinpoint the position where his army were stationed. He retreated to areas uncontrollable by the French. This was similar to the actions of the jihadists. Well, as a political leader, he structured his empire in a very controllable manner. He grouped the villages under him into districts. The districts also grouped into zones. Each zone was under a governor. The governor was assisted by a war chief. The village and district courts happened to be the first jurisdiction when it comes to the area of legal matters, where the judgment are not being taken serious. They can appeal to the governor, but leader and as well the highest judicial position. Mosques encourage the spread of Islam. He also encouraged his subjects to send their children to schools. He was one of the, very remarkable political leaders in African history. He banned the taking of alcohol in his territory. At the same time, withdrew the right of non-Muslims to assemble to worship. He also encouraged the enforcement of the 5 daily prayers and obligations to all parents to send their children to Quranic schools. Many of which we are actually established a lot of Quranic schools within his empire. And he announced that all his subjects must be Muslims. That's when he started taking Islam very serious. He made a decree that all his subjects must be Muslims. But the policy of rapid Islamization met with strong opposition. The discontent was created by the fact that some of the territories under him to convert to Islam. When in organization,
this definitely sounds like the story of Adam. I'm not going to lie.
Structure, Samori Toure was able to establish a very refined and effective political unit. Unfortunately, his political empire did not last, in the sense that he was conquered and sent to exile by the French. If you are watching us for the very first time, please subscribe to our channel and click on the notification icon so that anytime we present a new content.
So The Witches. Oh, I watched that movie, and let me tell y'all, I swear that lady, she paid some other soft energies, you know what I'm saying, back in the day. But I swear to God, I said, damn, she played that like she was waiting for that her whole life. And you would have thought that was a piece of her dress, but that is a snake on that dress. Flight 93. Y'all, I'm gonna have to turn off this air. It got my booty freezing up in here. And then watch it. I'm gonna probably get hot real quick. Yeah. I did not watch those. Oh, shit. Yeah, I did. And I need you now, tonight. Oh. Come on now. I know how to save stuff since then. Don't try to play me. What is this? How private equity conquered America. I believe that
premium to whatever the stock price was trading at when the acquirer comes in and says, I'll pay you $10 more a share. So generally speaking, the shareholders say, yay, let's do it. Let's do the deal. When it's a private company, you're then talking about persuading whomever owns it that they are better off taking the money and running. But it's almost always a premium they're paying, and so that gets people's attention, and the owners or the shareholders say yes. So Apollo comes in, they buy the smelter, they promise that they're going to do right by the 2,500.
She said Apollo. I'm thinking about bodies, like spirit, souls, vessels.
Families whose workers are there, and they immediately loaded up with debt. This was a company that did not have a lot of debt, and so it didn't have enormous interest costs. It didn't have to pay those costs.
I just want to ask, when they loaded up with debt, do they say, okay, these are our assets, and they put the assets, that's how they can get the debt?
That's right.
Because they're putting the assets up as collateral?
Correct. So the asset is this smelter and this huge infrastructure, and they also had a very low cost of electricity.
Just interrupting, is the debt used to pay?
The way her face looked, though. This is the Real News Network YouTube channel. Y'all gonna have to hold on just a second. I gotta turn my AC off. It's a bit nippy. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Lord. Oh, of course. Of course they didn't want to wait.
Just interrupting, is the debt used to pay for the acquisition?
Yes, the debt is used to pay for the acquisition, but it again allows the private equity firm to take the money out, right? They're loading the debt onto the company itself, not onto the private equity firm. So the company is the one that now has to struggle with the debt costs, the increased interest, its money out, all of its money out.
Which it wasn't that much.
Wasn't that much, maybe even like 6 months or something like that. They were able to extract, although then raises more debt. They ultimately make 3 times their money on the Noranda purchase. Meanwhile, the company starts to struggle.
And it
not
goes up, it goes
surprisingly.
under because it has to service the debt now.
It starts to struggle because it has to service the debt. So then Apollo says, wow, this is a problem. We need to negotiate with the state of Missouri's Utility Commission to lower our electricity costs, or otherwise we're going to leave. We're going to sell the company, take it somewhere else or something. So they negotiate with the Utility Commission a lower rate, even though it means that the other ratepayers in Missouri have to pick up the slack, have to cover that difference. Apollo gets the lower rate. It then starts to fire people because it can't make ends meet. The company is struggling. Again, the debt is too high. I think there may have been an economic downturn. Aluminum wasn't quite as, in demand in any case, but it really was the debt that was causing the problems. The company ultimately goes bankrupt, but Apollo has made 3 times its money. So people are thrown out of work. They savaged 3 different pensions. The Pension Benefit Guaranty Corporation had to come in and bail out 3 Noranda pensions because of the bankruptcy. They small town in Missouri. All of a sudden, the tax base crumbled, and the school teachers had to pay their own health care costs because what Noranda owed for the school payments for its taxes was not. They make all of the money for themselves, 3 times their investment, but they harmed ratepayers. They harmed school teachers, school children. They harmed workers. They harmed pensioners. That's what we're talking about.
You're right. To outsiders, the buyout firms appeared to be fierce rivals, competing assiduously to beat each other out for the companies they hope to acquire. Everyday investors explain how that works.
This was an amazing case that it was brought by shareholders, or maybe debt holders. I think it was shareholders. But anyway, they turned up some amazing documents in the discovery where they had emails between these big, powerful firms that everyone thought were competing to buy companies, KKR, et cetera. On this deal, we won't do this deal. We'll let you take this deal. You give us the next one. And so it became clear when you have this kind of acquisition, if you have more bidders, if you have 2 bidders, 3 bidders, 5 bidders, the people who own the company that are selling it are going to get a better price because those bidders are going to bid up the price of the company. If you only have 1 bidder, they're not competing with anyone else, and they're not going to be raising the cost of the acquisition. So what happened was the shareholders ended up getting less because the other firms had decided not to compete and not to bid up the price. It was collusion that people had not really understood was happening on a regular basis. And it was kind of shocking. They ended up paying a lot of money to make the case, to settle the case. But it was a real eye-opener about how they are really working together to make sure that
Now they're cannibalizing basic services that were once managed by cities, communities.
these private equity firms do understand that there is money to be made buying into these kinds of utilities that are really necessities. We are not talking about frivolous items. We're talking about way to refurbish. Let's make that happen. They did the deal. You can well imagine that the people on the KKR side of the table were pretty shrewd operators, and the people on the water utility side of the table were probably town, not a wealthy town. Their water rates skyrocketed. And again, it was a situation where this very small group of financiers wind up winning, gaining enormous amounts, and everyone else winds up paying the freight.
Well, when you write skyrocketed, 2021 report by the Association of Environmental Authorities, a public utility nonprofit, said the average annual bill for privately owned water systems in the U.S. was 60% higher than that of publicly owned systems. And in privatized arrangements, low-income households spent 1.5 for systems in the U.S. was 60% higher than that of publicly owned systems. And in privatized arrangements, low-income households spent 1.55% more of their income on water. So these rate hikes are staggering. I mean, they're very, very high and
Crippling. And it's not like you can say, okay, well, let's not drink any water today.
Right.
Let's not use water to, cook our food, wash our clothes, do our dishes. Not a frivolous item.
So let's talk about the social cost. I think we've talked in a kind of microcosm, but what's it doing to the national economy? How is it affecting us globally?
Well, the first thing I think, and the most important 30,000-foot view, is it expands the wealth gap in this country. It really blows that out. So people who are in the lower, echelon, it's unsustainable. And
Is it unsustainable because, in essence, they're just cannibalizing everything?
well, it is unsustainable because you can't keep extracting money from the middle class and the poor people to become billionaires. I mean, that's just a recipe for disaster. Okay, capitalism is supposed to, in theory, benefit a wide array of people. It's supposed to provide prosperity for people to enhance their, economic situation, have a good job,
Yeah, but when it's regulated.
When it's regulated, right?
When it's not regulated, you have a term in the book, a-hole capitalism.
Right. Me, right? I, me, mine capitalism, right? Where I don't care about everyone else. It's really all about what I want and what I can get for myself. So it's the wealth gap in this country that has really, really blown out. And I believe these entities are contributing mightily to that. Now, then when you get lower down, that's the 30,000 foot view. When you get lower down, you have these, situations where people are actually personally affected by this, whether it's because the tax base in their town disappears because a company goes bankrupt. That means the taxpayers have to, make up the difference. Whether you're talking about a nursing home where people die more frequently, whether you're talking, we endlessly, all the business press, lionizing these people and talking about their
people out of town hall meetings and stuff like that purposefully. They want you to have a certain requirement in order to attend these town hall meetings. The most ridiculous things, they don't want the actual people that are suffering to attend the meetings. We just talked about one of those videos most recently that wanted the most ridiculous requirements in order to attend the town hall meeting, or it was like one from Georgia like last year or something from a few months ago. But the requirements are ridiculous, and you're not really hearing from the people that are ultimately suffering because you don't want to have the patience to actually shut up and listen is the problem. The patience is at an all-time low, and that's the way they like it. So people don't have to show empathy. They don't have to show, sympathy. They don't have to try to understand where that person is coming from that perspective, from where they are. And if you're not able to look at all perspectives and understand all perspectives from the point where you supposedly sit so high, you're not really doing a thorough job. You're not really doing a complete whole job. It is not fair. It's not just. It's unjust for people all across the board if you're not actually hearing everyone's, concerns about the whole situation as a whole. So this is the Real News Network YouTube channel.
Deals and how they're this billion and that billion. You never hear about the people on the other side of the transaction. And that's wrong. Because there are people on the other side of the transaction.
How private equity conquered America, the Chris Hodges report.
And their stories and their voices are important.
Well, I think that's been the great failing. The failing of the press is that we're not telling those stories. And, reading your book and seeing, that line that you have in the book about know something is wrong, but they don't know what exactly is wrong. I really read that as, I think, a huge factor in the rise of a figure like Trump. I don't know how you feel.
Yes, I agree 100%. They don't understand finance, and yes, the financiers make it complex for a reason. They hide behind the complexity, they hide behind the secrecy, they hide behind the fact that you don't know that they own the companies. people, I'm not blaming people for not understanding it, not knowing what the problem is, because it is hidden
And
from view.
this is what really, really grinds my gears. But it's okay, right? It's not okay, but God is gonna take care of it. Is what I mean completely, utterly, and totally. Is when these corporations own these certain companies, they know, just like in Who Cloned Tyrone, they own and run these companies privately and secretly in all these other, tunnels and all kind of extra weird shit with extra chemicals and stuff on purpose, giving us, like I said, he still hasn't even he hasn't even addressed the point of all of these chemicals in our food. America is the only one that has a lot of these fucked up chemicals that will fuck up somebody's lifespan. Is here, not anywhere else but America. Y'all have to think, why are we being targeted? I know why.
It is. They do that on purpose. But it is pernicious and it is impacting people. And so it's causing job losses. It's causing reduced pensions. It's causing increased costs for taxpayers, which all contribute to this sense of unease about my future. Am I going to have enough money to retire? Am I going to have enough money to send my child to college? There's an unease going on these people are contributing to.
Well, you make a point in the book, like with the surprise bills from the emergency room. I think the average, if I remember, was about $600 or something. Well, since they don't know these bills are coming, these families living on the edge are completely wiped out.
Right.
That this has catastrophic effects. And these, essentially predatory practices are bleeding, especially with the working poor and the lower working class, which I think, you make very clear in the book. And that has political consequences when it's not addressed. And it's largely not addressed because under our system of legalized bribery, in essence, the political class, these people own the political class. Not only own the political class, but especially, I think, during the Trump administration, a lot of these private equity people were in the administration.
Steve Schwarzman was at Trump's right hand in many photographs. He was his, business advisor, financial.
One crook advising another. Great. All right, thanks. That was Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist Gretchen Morgenson, author of These Are the Plunderers, How Private Equity Runs and Wrecks America. I want to thank the Real News Network and its production team, Cameron Granadino, Adam Coley, David Hebden, and Kayla Rivera. You can find me at chrishedges.substack.com.
Chris Hodges reports. This is a video from last year, March 1st of last year, 2024. Crazy. I didn't watch this, nor did I save it. So what the hell? Why is it in my playlist? Because I'm surely looking for the videos that I did save. And I know I saved a few. And it's not showing me that it's there. Let's see, let me go directly to this one. Okay, movies they have released: Above the Rim, Empire, Jumanji, The Seat Fillers, Miss Virginia, Skyscraper, White Man Can't Jump, The Fourth Kind. Ooh, and this, I was just talking about this. Wait, no, it wasn't Deep Blue. Deep Blue, I think, is the one with LL Cool J in it. Yeah. And at least post the clip so y'all can go watch it. somewhere else. In the first John Wick, I might fall asleep. John Wick Chapter 3 is like 2 hours long and 10 minutes. John Wick, the first movie, is almost 2 hours. They released this Christmas. Anton Fisher, Whitney, starring, it's about Whitney Houston, the preacher's wife. Hidden Figures, The Fifth Element, Infinite. Not Infinity, it's called Infinite. The Kitchen. I know I say some other ones besides these. Hold on. Maybe I just watched them. Damn. But even I just looked through the ones that I watched, and it's not that many. Apparently not. Damn. I think I was watching them on. No, I put this. Yeah, I was probably watching them on this phone. So dead quiet. But anyways, that's all of what I saved. And I meant to say some more. Is some new ones? I think this is a new one. He funny as hell. Damn. It's only a short.
I want you to answer that simple question. Do you have the same cognitive ability as us white people on average? Are the human IQ scores going to be exactly the same, or is there going to be some difference?
How much milk and sugars did you put in your coffee?
Why is it that in World War II, all are fighting with hail? Colored people. The people of color. And isn't that another weird term? I am a hateful man. That's right. Yes, I hate a lot. And it feels good. I love opening my heart and letting all that hate out.
That was way too much energy for me.
Anyways,
That was way too much energy for me.
I don't like to leave the bag in. You know what I mean? Because if I leave the bag in for too long,
It comes out bitter.
kind of like you.
I want you to answer that simple question. Do you have the same
Oh my god, fuck.
I want you to answer that simple question.
Yeah, he's dead ass serious too. Like, they don't have no fucking forgiveness card? Like, damn. No fucking forgiveness card? Like, damn. Good. Melanated officer sues cops for racially profiling him. Fucking awesome. Ooh, what's this? Crazy? This is fishing to a week of NFC West shutdown in Seattle. What? What the hell? Oh, 49ers. I haven't watched football in a minute. Let's see.
You don't have to be a Beyond.
Ooh. What the hell are they talking about? West shut down Seattle. Oh, wait. Did we in the game shut down? I think so. Jesus Christ. Fucking commercial. Ooh, 10-13. Damn.
An open field tackle for the man that just came up with the pick, and Josh Joe.
I think if you're San Francisco here, you got to go with a little pace. As this thing gets closer to the 2-minute warning, then all of a sudden you got to flip that this is your last possession of the game. Each team still has 3 timeouts.
See, y'all wouldn't even know. Damn.
Surprised to see
That's quick, right?
San Francisco in the
basically said at this point, this is it.
This is it. 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning.
Purdy's given time. Wants it all. Downfield. Pearsall's got it. Ricky Pearsall inside the 25. Biggest
Purdy, but not when the game's on the line. This is fantastic. Seattle only brings 4 rushers. Woolen misjudges that ball in the air, and that's just a big-time double move there by Ricky Pearsall. And now, if you're San Francisco, you want this to be take as much clock as you can. But again, they've got field goal try in the back of their head. They got to go for 7.
Big to McCaffrey. Now throw it underneath. It's Tonjes. Jake Tonjes getting the touch here.
I'm all up in it.
After Ricky Pearsall moves over 100 yards receiving in his first game this year.
You have to imagine they'll let this come down to the 2-minute warning.
2 minutes left.
One of my favorite games was Seahawks.
They got their best pass protection, their best pocket. They've needed all.
Down 3. 2 minutes left.
This is a big down right here. Got to have a great plan.
Underneath he goes. And that is Tonjes again. Jake Tonjes scoops ahead for a first down. Seldom used, but stepping into the role of Kittle. There's a flag downfield as well.
It's a great catch going to the ground.
Before the pass was thrown, illegal contact. Defense number 29.
Oh, yeah, he's already down.
Play results and a first down.
That's a great job at Tonjes going to the ground, and then he had to. If you're San Francisco, there is an element of yes, we want a touchdown, and that's critical. But the clock, it's kind of like deja vu all over again to the end of the first half. Very similar situation, but it's not goal to go.
Hand it off to McCaffrey. Short gain inside the 10. A minute 49 and a timeout taken by Mike McDonald here. First one used by Seattle.
30-second timeout. They set the game clock to 150. Thank you.
Seattle was really good in close games last year. San Francisco is 2-6, and in this league, you're going to play in close games more often than not. 13-10 with a minute 50 left.
Again, think back to the sequence of events at the end of the first half. San Francisco has the ball under the 2-minute warning with possession, knowing they come out of the half, getting possession again. Miss the field goal. Seattle goes down and steals 3 of their own, and that's the difference in the game. They're back in a very similar situation.
And it's 3rd down and 2.
Yeah, if he could, he was going to take off with that ball.
Steers done it again today. Can they stand tall one more time?
So if I'm Shanahan, I am not afraid. Whatever my best play is, this is 3rd down, gotta have it. Whatever my best play is. If it's a run, great. If it's a pass, great. If I'm him, I'm getting the ball to number 23. However I can, I'm going for the win.
He swings out into the end zone. Wasn't open. Purdy keeping it alive. Purdy lost one.
Oh, he did. Oh, he got it.
San Francisco.
88 got it.
Jake Tonjes, who had never caught a pass in the NFL, has caught 3 today, including the go-ahead touchdown with a minute and 34 left.
What a play by Purdy. Nobody happier in this stadium than George Kittle. Unbelievable job just creating big receptions on that drive. And
Builds your breath here a little bit for the extra point. Moody out of the hole from Morstead. Snap from Leaks. He's got it. I mean, you might literally be right. Out of the 53-man roster, who is the last guy that you think is going to make an impact? It might have been Jake Tonjes, but the injury to Kittle, Tonjes gets his chance.
Play alive. Your nearest defender. He takes the lead. Blaster technique is get your eyes in your hands on the nearest receiver and stick to him. He kind of loses track of Tonjes and misplays the ball. And man,
that ball was definitely 4-pound.
after a day that's he wins, he takes the lead for now. But again, still a lot of time left for Seattle.
Yeah, the touchback here with a minute 34 Throughout the day, they don't need too much from him. They need just enough on that goal.
Yeah,
By taking the 3-point lead,
the D.
now you find yourself down by 4. Try to make up for it. Last chance for the Seahawks. Darnold lets it rip, and Smith and Jigba, who's had a big day, gets 11 to start this drive. That's the 8th catch for Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Got tons of time now. You can throw it anywhere on the field. You still have a timeout in your back pocket.
Give it all day. Sideline almost broken up there, and then it was. He had Upton Salary trading and Renardo Green flying in there to break it loose of Smith and Jigba.
Jackson Smith and Jigba open, but it's that deflection. See, Sam, he knows. He just couldn't quite rip that one in there.
With a minute 13, 2nd and 10. Darnold, one-on-one, Smith and Jigba. They went back to Smith and Jigba, and he beat Green.
It's all double move, and he said, all right, I've got one of those double moves in my back pocket, too, and the go-to guy all day has been Seattle's in business. Remember, they still have that lone timeout, over a minute to go in the game, so they have all the time in the world. They just can't take a second.
From the 14-yard line, a flag is down. Darnold throws it incomplete. Looking for Kenneth Walker.
Somebody, I think they lined up in the neutral zone.
Offside. Defense number 47 is
Man zone check. He knows it's zone defense.
Full playbook at his disposal. Hands it off to Walker, who's stopped by Bosa. A gain of 1. Sack. First game as the OC here. Sends in a call for 2nd and 4. Darnold. He doesn't let it go. The ball is loose. The 49ers have it.
It's a
It's
wrap.
Nick Bosa and the 49ers closing the
Of Lucas, and that ball is out. Just said the one thing they can't have is a sack, and they get a strip.
2 years, just not quite what he had done in his Player of the Year seasons. Extra motivated and stuffs the stat sheet and ends the game on this one play.
It's not going to be perfect. They told us all week. They said, listen, we're young on defense. Have some question marks on the offensive skill positions, but they weathered the storm. It wasn't pretty.
They got it, though.
Tell you what, your best players have to make plays with the game on the line, and after a relatively quiet game by Nick Bosa, he made his presence felt when they needed it the most.
I thought you meant Jake Tonjes.
He did too, just as we all predicted.
Well, we talked about it coming in as an infusion of youth.
Well, that's another thing. Like, well, let me see. Yeah, I think I wanted to be a cop at first. Oh, that was always in the back of my mind. But a massage therapist was always so. I don't know. It's just something innately. I always had that naturally in me, what I wanted to be. So I feel that was a good thing. Look at how they got my face looking. They got my face looking crazy, yo. State's Department official take racism back 200 years. Oh, that's Reese Waters' YouTube channel. I watch his channel. He has some very good content. That's ridiculous. Oh, minimize. Yes, we will have enough of everything. It's just sometimes like some things are just, you know, are hoarding, and that that's just not a good spirit to keep around. So proof that they are going to end. Fuck. I am Q Hef. Oh, Q Hefe. Lord, no. Oh my Lord. Oh, okay. So, why isn't being a healer, like healing is so not promoted in so many levels? I know that is, systematically, um, a thing. Yeah, that sound is off. Just make sure that sound is off. That is systematically a thing. Boy, not in our schools, not in our education, not in too much anything, except for doctors and nurses. And then when you get older and you take all the classes and everything it is to take to be a fucking nurse or a doctor, then you really find out how shit is in the background. You don't want to be a nurse or a doctor no more. You're better off being a physical therapist, something like that, or a massage therapist, physical therapist, a nutritionalist. You know what I'm saying? Somebody's workout coach. You're better off going to those type of fields. A health coach, life coach, something. You're better off in those fields, really. Those spectrums tend to be something that nobody is not going to never need ever in life. So, new spyware. ICE can hack your phone without you knowing. I bet them bitches can. That ain't nothing new. Ugh. When I see that face, what the fuck? Damn, I need to put a block on that shit on this phone. Let me put a block on that ass. Not interested. Why is he talking about her? Why is he talking about Tabitha Brown? But he obese. Like, boy, you need to stop it. See? Don't be discouraging people. If they doing something wrong, that's one thing. They doing healthy shit that they need to do, they can be. This is a date the police dropped a bomb on Philadelphia. I was there 4 years ago. Vice, YouTube. Jesus. Oh, um, Primal Vegan. I'm gonna get hella mushrooms this month. Meats. And I gotta make like 2 more. And I just want fresh vegetables, my meats. I pack up if I need to, so I ain't gotta worry about spending extra money. Oh, talks about that. Wow. Wait, let's tap into this. White on white crime. It's horrible. But somebody's actually speaking out about it.
Descendants of the colonizers are at it again. In today's episode, they are trying to colonize Budop.
She said, I did not get what she said at first. She said they're trying to colonize Buddha. Oh man, hold on, wait.
Did she say my single?
The second-hand embarrassment I'm feeling right now. So this situation actually went down a little while ago, but it just came up on my FYP, and I'm like, what? Be so effing for real. Like, she could not have been serious, but apparently she was, though.
So y'all were mad about Beyonce redoing Jolene. Talking about, why can't she stay in her own genre? I don't like this.
Who made the genre?
She's not gonna. But why
Oh,
are
you
y'all so quiet?
stay, like, you straight stole somebody's shit, gonna call it
She
yours?
was trying to
Jesus.
sell and market her ripoff of someone else's song, a black woman's song at that, and trying to market it as her song, my single. Why aren't y'all saying anything? Why are y'all so quiet? Unless, of course, it wasn't really the fact that Beyonce was doing a country song that y'all were really mad about in the first place.
Of course not.
Oh, okay.
This right here is a tale as old as time. I mean, what can I even say right now that's going to be new, that's going to not make me come off like a broken record? Because how many videos have I made talking about situations like this? Even Shakira has done it, the whole stealing someone's song thing, right? With the whole Waka Waka song she did, talking about how she walked from a barn to the house, from the house to the barn, and boop, it came to her.
Walked from the barn to the house, and on that walk, boom, it came to me.
Saying all of that, knowing damn well that she stole the song, at least a portion of the song from a Cameroonian.
It probably could have. It's a possibility. You know what I'm saying? Boom, it came to her. What do we know about technology? They fuck with people's frequencies, right? They could have sent it to her purposefully, and she really thought like it was there's so much shit going on that people can be manipulated. So I don't know. It could have been an honest mistake, but hey, who knows? We know these celebrities also, they siphon off of our energy as well.
This song was actually done in the 80s, and when Shakira did hers for the 2010 World Cup, there was a huge hiccup because everybody was like, wait a minute, like, we know that song. We know that song. You did not come up with that, Shakira. And, FIFA did their thing. Everything went hush very quickly, so not many people got to hear about the scandal. I actually made a video on this 4 years ago, thereabout. If you want to check it out, it's linked down below in the description. And I'm bringing all of this up right now to show to you guys, for those of you who don't know, that this isn't new. Unfortunately, this has been happening since forever, and it's still happening. And I have covered a good number of them, actually, as you can see the picture slides of these videos on the screen right now. If you want to check them out, it's linked down below in the description. But this is what African people, black people have had to deal with historically. But to conclude this video on the topic of ownership, I want to share with you guys this video that I saw from this creator that was sharing with us what white people actually created. And I think you're going to enjoy this watch. So,
redlining, gerrymandering, the one drop rule.
anti-literacy laws, the N-word, microaggressions, taxes, white-collar crime, Ronald Reagan, the apartheid, segregation, speeding tickets, bank bailouts, the current financial system, conversion therapy, the Klan, police. The Klan and police seem really close together there, don't they? Mandatory minimums, Ronald Reagan, forced sterilization, environmental transatlantic slave trade, displacing of indigenous.
He said environmental racism. He blurred out. He said environmental racism.
Mandatory minimums, Ronald Reagan, forced sterilization, environmental transatlantic slave trade, displacing of indigenous peoples, witch hunts, predatory lending practices, the war on drugs, and the iPhone.
The iPhone?
Whiteboard has two sides. Yo, I'm gonna flip the board. I'll flip the board. More things brought to you by Wi-Fi.
He said the whiteboard has two sides.
Actual Ronald Reagan, eminent domain, potato salad with raisins. I see you. Homeowners associations, the 5-day work week.
He said potato salad with raisins.
Tipping culture.
So they can steal from other people effectively. Clock that. Let's continue.
Eugenics, gentrification, race as a whole, conceptually. Casseroles. Ronald Reagan, European beauty standards, segregation, contact as a whole, conceptually.
Steal from other people effectively. Clock that. Let's continue.
Eugenics, gentrification, race as a whole, contacting uncontacted tribes, and iPad. Yes, I'm aware how thick this shirt.
Wait, hold on. I almost lost my shit and thought, laughed at what the hell he said. But the European beauty fashion shit, I know that's a thing because their sizes come smaller than the average person. Because my bust size is bigger than the typical European and everything else. So they do that systematically to mess with your confidence. And it's fucked up.
And how small?
I don't know why, but this clip always has me rolling. I've had it for a very good while now, maybe a year, if not even more than a year. I've had this clip on my phone. And every time I watch it, it's like I'm watching it for the first time. When he said contacting uncontacted tribes, I died. I died like 3 times. I've been saying I will share this clip with you guys, but the time has never been right until now, I guess. And let's continue this conversation there. Thank you very much for watching. And of course, as always, I'll be catching you in the next one. Bye!
I wish she would say her name. Oh my God, they had me laughing so hard. Jesus, that was contacting uncontacted tribes for real. The violation of everybody's privacy. Don't know how to leave my shit. Lord knows. What is it gonna take for them to focus on that? What? Epstein Heat has Trump sweating 6 hours ago. Fuck. I said, I'm so tired of seeing this motherfucker every time I open my damn phone. I'm sick of seeing his motherfucking ass. Boy, I'm telling you. It's like 365 fucking days I gotta see this nigga for the whole goddamn year. Shit. And then even when they miss it, they gonna put his motherfucking ass on the goddamn phone anyways. He miss it. I don't care. Shit. Hell, the fuck? Oh, Jesus. I don't care what that motherfucking bitch. Damn. I would hope he's somewhere minding his fucking business healing. That's what I would hope. Shit. Let him go missing for a couple of days. It'll be okay.
beautiful,
But they
man.
coming.
Trump's latest Truth Social post, the irony of it, has ignited a multitude of responses on social media surrounding the Epstein files. Trump wrote, quote, the Epstein case was only brought back to life by the radical left Democrats because they are doing so poorly with the lowest poll numbers in the history. We're not even going to finish that line. This is merely another Democrat hoax, just like Russia, and all of the others, in order to deflect and distract Democrat Epstein hoax. So you're a Republican now. Your son said the Republican Party was no more. All you have now is MAGA. And obviously, revisionist history at play here.
Fuck.
Democrat.
The delusion is. Hold on. That one is you. I know it, my fat finger. Is you. I will climb the biggest mountain and swing into pistachio for you. Cause you are the one. Just to get the message to you. Cause you are the one.
Democrats did not talk about the Epstein files enough, much less too much. Trump is possibly a Democrat because he too echoed the same sentiment while running.
Wait. My ear is ringing, yo. My ear is ringing. The good ear is ringing. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Post it. Show us the files. In an effort to defend Trump, the House Speaker, Mike Johnson, went so far as to suggest the former president, quote, was an FBI informant to try to take this stuff down, end quote. A claim that stunned reporters on Capitol Hill and poured gasoline on the fire. Now, let me say this. Mike Johnson is a prolific liar. And he happens to be slightly smarter than Donald Trump. For him to say a lie this dumb, it was because Trump told him, if you're cornered, say this.
Please say one of them about it instead of course. Yes, please do that. When Trump called it a hoax yesterday, what Trump is referring to is the hoax that the Democrats are using to try to attack him. He has never said or suggested or did as a hoax. It's a terrible, unspeakable evil. He believes that when he first heard the word, they kicked him out of Marijuana.
Hold on. Democrats, Republicans. Democrats, Republicans. See, I don't even know. Was that what he meant? He said he a Republican now? I think that's what he meant.
Mar-a-Lago, he was an FBI informant to try to take this stuff down. The president knows and has great sympathy for the women who suffered these unspeakable harms.
For telling a Pedro Pete guy, get out. Method, according to Mr. Johnson.
Lying.
Within days, Johnson was backtracking.
Lies from the pits of hell. My Jim Carrey voice.
Backing, insisting he was merely echoing an old talking point about Trump's role years ago. But the reversal underscored how frantic the scramble has become, turning the fight over the files into a full-blown political theater. Quote, the speaker is reiterating what the victim's attorney said, which is that Donald Trump, who kicked Epstein out of Mar-a-Lago, a property deal, by the way, not because of his disgusting child predator, the statement from Johnson's office read. In the rest of his Truth Social post last week, Trump posted, quote, the confused and badly failing Democratic Party did nothing about Jeffrey Epstein while he was alive, except befriend him, socialize with him, travel to his island, and take his money. Trump wrote, steering clear from his own involvement of befriending him, traveling with him, and likely taking his money too. He accused Democrats of ignoring victims during Epstein's lifetime, saying, quote, where was there to be found? Well, Trump, the guy who ruled the prosecution, who could have prosecuted Epstein, you hired him in your first administration. The Attorney General who worked him. And, sir, you then decided to provide a pardon to the woman who admitted that she recruited children. There's more.
Say what?
But it's not clear what Epstein trials Trump is referring to. The disgraced financier was given a highly unusual deal. We talked about this on Indisputable. That included immunity for accomplices in exchange for his 2008 guilty plea to a federal charges in connection with sex trafficking minors. Epstein died in 2019 before he could stand trial on new federal charges for many of those same crimes that he should have been prosecuted for in 2008. A creepy drawing in the Epstein archives that was published much for Epstein's 50th birthday, according to the report. Epstein's 50th birthday book included letters current President Donald Trump himself. Trump has denied penning the letter to Epstein, which featured his signature, a drawing of a naked woman, and the words, quote, every day be another wonderful secret, end quote. Trump's signature appears at the bottom of the letter. Yeah, all of his cronies are saying, oh, you know what? That doesn't look like Trump's signature. Put it up again. The cronies could have at least said, somebody could have duplicated that. But no, they're not saying it's a duplication. They're saying it doesn't even look like Donald Trump's signature. On Monday, the contribution to the book from Joel Paschal, a member of Trump's Mar-a-Lago club, was also made public, showing Joel joking about Epstein selling a, quote, fully depreciated woman to Trump for $22,500. Quote, Jeffrey showing early talents with money, women, sells fully depreciated, redacted, to Donald Trump for $22,500, read the letter published by the Wall Street Journal. Quote, early people skills too, even though I handled the deal, I didn't get any of the money on the girl, end quote. The letter included a photo of Epstein and others holding up a giant fake check for $22,500. It gets even worse. While the woman's name was redacted in the letter on Monday, she was reportedly someone whom Trump and Epstein, quote, socialized with in the 1990s, end quote. According to the Journal, which cited unnamed sources familiar with the matter, the lawyer for the woman told the newspaper her client had no prior knowledge of the letter and did not know Joel Paschal. Trump is currently suing the Wall Street Journal. That lawsuit and likely gets kicked out prior to even going before any evidentiary
Whoa. Well, he's losing lawsuit after fucking lawsuit.
Don't compromise quality assurance.
Oh, they're gonna make him go broke.
For this ad. Hit that skip button. Or likely it's
Remember, this is his karma. This is his karma playing out in real life.
out prior to even going before any evidentiary proceeding, only because,
Oof.
well, that looks like his signature. The Wall Street Journal would have had to know it to be a lie in order for Trump to be successful. The White House is doubling down, insisting the signature on the letter is not Trump's. Quote, the latest piece published by the Wall Street Journal proves this entire birthday card story is false. It doesn't. Caroline Levitt wrote, as I have said all along, it's very clear President Trump did not draw this picture. And he did not sign it. It's very clear, huh? Madam, you have access to individuals who actually do this for a living. They look at handwriting samples. They are qualified witnesses inside of court proceedings. You can call one of them. As a matter of fact, you have the authority to call one of them now and have them analyze the signature and provide a press conference.
Authenticated.
Okay.
Or unauthenticated.
Ms. Maxwell,
If that's the case.
Ms. Maxwell's attorney, Arthur Adela, insists he has no idea why the Trump DOJ transferred this convicted predator, child predator, to a minimum security prison. Here it is. Well, there's things like I'm not allowed to talk about, right? So there's things I can't talk about.
Okay, but let's just
obviously I can talk in generalities.
Let's just pause it. Yeah,
when anybody who's represented by a lawyer who knows what they're doing goes in and meets with the government, there's always a quid pro quo. You don't just take your client in and say, let me talk to you about something. They wanted information from, hypothetically, anytime the government wants an information from a citizen, the citizen says, well, I have a right to remain silent. If you want me to give up that right, I need something in return. Usually it's a plea bargain. Usually your charge is going to be lowered and your exposure. Why are you laughing? I've done that for 35 years.
You just admitted to a quid pro quo with this.
But that's how the whole system works.
Would this have happened before or after the interview? Would this have happened before or after the interview? Would they have said to her, we're going to do this interview, and in exchange for it, you're going to go to this other prison?
The truth is, Abigail, I don't know the answer to that. I don't know the answer to that question. I don't have knowledge of when that decision was made. I don't have knowledge of when that decision was made. Sounds rehearsed. Plausible deniability. The whole thing is dirty. Everybody knows it's dirty. Everybody sees it for what it is. You have leaders amongst you. Leaders who are willing to support this kind of corruption, violation of Constitution. It violates the consciousness of all of us, the children. Those are the best among you, because even in the midst of their manipulation, they were willing to take the fire from you and from people like me to stand up for children. All right, share our thoughts here.
Well said, Doc. I would love to see you one-on-one with Marjorie Taylor Greene, the representative from Georgia, who is one of those who said, no, I'm not going along with this. As brilliant as you are, having you read Donald Trump's Taco Bell and perhaps Diet Coke-fueled late-night social posting even made you, a brilliant man, sound like Dr. Seuss.
Right.
This is what it sounded like. And this is what we're reduced to. This group and this administration they lack creativity. They do some really dumb things. They're a group of just dingleberries. No, I'm sorry. It's a group of dingleberries who are running the country into the ground and hating on children and sanctioning abuse. Come up with something better, liars.
Yeah. We shall bring you updates as updates are guaranteed to develop.
Thank you, Jesus. What is this? Talking about when you let the hood DJ host a kids party. That's hilarious. People in this shit. Oh, look at her, she cute. Okay. Fully clothed too. Why did they put her out there like that? Investigation update 2/5/25. Prince Georgia County. Prince? That's 18 minutes long. There's so much going on. Saturn retrograde in Pisces. Lord have mercy. Well, Elliott exposes the government for 16 minutes. Let's watch her video. Exponentially the tip. T.I. Harris. What the hell? He got a YouTube channel?
$5 million. Would you take a vow of celibacy for 5 years?
I done did 3. Nope, I can make $1 million a year already. Now, you up that number.
I know people who are celibate for 5 years for free. Yeah, no, for real.
May God be with them.
May God be with them.
The reason our fearless leader, our chair, the reason he is closing Planned Parenthood, sorry about that. The reason he is closing Planned Parenthood, what's the word I want? Planned Parenthood offices is because too many white women are abortions, and he thinks that's what Planned Parenthood gives us. That is 1987. when the book The Birth Dearth was written, and that's the word, that plus the writings of Adolf Hitler are what this man is basing his governmental policies on. In 1987, 60% of the fetuses that were aborted every year were white. Then we started closing Planned Parenthood clinics. In 2018, only 39% of the aborted fetuses were white. Are we succeeding in increasing the number of white births? Yes, we are. It's a cute trick, and it's what he wants to do. Increase the number of white babies being born in this country. The whole is so ludicrous and based on a lie. We should have gotten over it a long time ago. But it's hard to get over if when you go to church and pray about it, and you hear the preacher standing in front of a white male on the cross. Now, the Bible says that Jesus had caked woolly hair, animal-like hair, and feet of bronze. And now we know that he was an Ethiopian Jew. Well, if you're from Ethiopia, the chances are pretty good that you ain't me.
Is it fear, envy, or ignorance that fuels this fire?
Oh, this is really his channel.
Refuse to let go of?
It is ignorance, and people like Donosaurus T. Rump, or whatever you want to call him, keep encouraging and inciting fear in people so that they will fear people of color. He wants to build a wall on the border of the United States so he can keep those brown-skinned people out. Because he has said several times, we've got to keep out here because brown-skinned people reproduce too freely. Too many brown-skinned people is going to really kill the number of the people who have power in this country. This is all about racism. Make no mistake about that. If we can keep you afraid of, for instance, an ignorant white female with her dog called the cops to come and stop the black man in the park who was a bird watcher who asked her to leash her dog. And she called the police and told them, I think he's going to attack me. He's attacking me. Please send someone up. They sent a patrol car out to put a stop to a black man who was asking a pale-faced woman to leash her dog. Now the signs on the park said, leash your dog. But she's a female. She doesn't have to obey the rules. We're looking at the difference between liberty and justice for all. We're looking at the land of the free she was and the home of the brave where the black man was. And when I hear that song, you know, the national anthem, I think the land of the free, that's all those white folks in the stands at a football game. And the home of the brave, that's those black males on the field who are willing to get their beat out in order to make enough money to keep them in their old age. That's the land of the free and the home of the brave.
That is another interesting perspective. Now, do you think the experiences that you have replicated over the years, do you think that they were like received well, or the point went across so good because did it resonate more because it was told through the eyes of children?
It didn't resonate well most time I didn't. I lost all my friends. My kids lost all their friends. My kids were beaten and spit on and abused, verbally, physically, and physically, because they had what to this day is called an N-word lover for a mother. That did not resonate well. The majority of the United States who agreed with what I did were smart enough to maintain a low profile, keep your head down. And that's what a number of teachers in that system did. They get along to get along. But then several years after I did that exercise, one of the parents of the kids of the child in that class stopped me on the street in Osage and said, we've been wanting to talk to you for years. We are sorry that we didn't stand up and defend you against the kinds of things that were being said about you. But I said, wait a minute, you don't have to apologize for that. You had to live in that community and you had to get along with those folks. I could move out every day. I could drive over to Osage and live in Osage, and I didn't have to get along with those people except with the teachers when I was in the classroom. I didn't get along with them. I found out how Typhoid Mary must have felt. I could walk down the hall and nobody would speak to me. It It got to be so comical. I could ruin their day just by walking into their classroom because they were afraid somebody would see me in there, and they think that teacher in whose room I was thinking like Jane Elliott, so they couldn't have that happen. It was just a scream. My father said one night after I complained about what was happening, he said, Jane, just keep smiling. They'll wonder what the hell you're up to. So I'd smile and I'd laugh and I'd chuckle all the way down the hall. And they had to be wondering, why isn't she bothered? I was hating her. What's the matter with this woman? Must be crazy. Well, we knew she was crazy. Look what she did with those poor little children. And laughed and laughed. Because my kids learned something that their teacher didn't know. You need to read this book. Have you read The Color of Law?
I have not. I will go get it.
Oh my God, get this book. It will blow you away when you realize some of the things. And it's so sensible, and I should have known. Parents' economic status is commonly replicated in the next generation. So what once government prevented African Americans from fully participating in the mid-20th century free labor market, depressed incomes became for many a multi-generational trait. All you have to do is keep one generation at a low rate, at a low
Make
wage.
sure you're not racist and don't be saying racist stuff on your channel. Are you gonna get black?
And then they don't have enough money to put money. They don't have enough wages to put money away, so they can't have a savings account. So they have nothing to hand down to their children. So you can make that go on generation after generation after generation. And woe be unto the black person who makes too much money. We'll soon find a way to put a stop to that.
Very true.
You have to read this book. And if you do, you'll realize that the people who wrote the laws learned the same stuff that you and I did. They believed the same myths that our parents, our grandparents, our great-grandparents did, which was that if you're white, you're all right. You have to read this book. You won't realize what the laws are all about until you read that. And then before you read that, read this.
Okay.
See those two children?
Yes.
Those girls are twins.
Oh.
Those are twin girls. And if you open this and you look to one page, and here is a picture of a map that shows where we started and where those brilliant black people moved across the face of the earth without any modern technology. And we have convinced them and ourselves that they aren't as smart as we white folks are. I pull up to the stop sign in Osage, Iowa. There's a big trucker sitting on my right side. Okay, he's getting his motor because he's on schedule and he's got to go. And he looks down at me, and I look up at him, and I smile, and I know he's thinking, oh, she thinks I'm cute. What I'm thinking is, well, you big pink idiot, if you knew that what is stopping you right now, I'm thinking, yes, sir, when he guns his motor. And for me, sir is an acronym for simple, ignorant, racist. Simple as that. If I call you sir, watch out.
Now, tell me a little bit, just if you could shed some light on what do you think began white supremacy, and how do you think we could most effectively fight against it?
If you read the book, The Myth of Race, you will realize that before Columbus discovered America, before 1492, there were blacks and whites, but slavery was not based on the color of your skin. But then, during the Spanish Inquisition, Torquemada and company were trying to kill people who weren't Christian because it's, you can bring people to Christ by killing them. They are much more worshipful when they're in a grave, evidently. But anyway, he was killing people because he thought they were Christian. He found out he killed a whole bunch of people who were Christians. So he realized he couldn't tell what your religion was by looking at you. So he had to find a way to decide who deserved to die. And probably wasn't Christian. And he based it on skin color. And that's how long this particular problem has been going on, only for a little over 500 years. You have to realize that, yes, there have always been people of different colors, but slavery was not dependent on skin color. Slavery was dependent on a whole lot of other things, but not skin color, until the 1400s. So right now, in this country, we are using 15th and 16th century vocabulary and ideas to solve problems in the 21st century. You can't do it. You've got to get into the 21st century if you're going to solve the problems we have. It's entirely different now. We have instant communication. What I say today in 5 minutes can be heard in South Africa. and in England. And I get letters from people all over the world now because they're hearing a different kind of story. I don't believe in race. I believe there's only one race. It's the human race. You and I are 30th to 50th cousins because we both have the same ancestor back there 300,000 to 500,000 years ago. That's a fact. And if you don't like it, you have my sympathy, but you still have to be my cousin. Black women keep on keeping on no matter what we do to them. You can't keep them down because they've developed coping skills that we pale faces will never develop because we've never had to live with the kind of treatment that black people have to live with. I'll never forget the woman at the University of, I think it was University of Indiana. They introduced me and we were going to talk about racism. We were going to talk about differences. And a white woman said, why are we talking about differences? We are all more similar than we are different. Why can't we talk about similarities? I said, I'll show you why. And I didn't intend to do this, but she asked a dumb question. That's a dumb question. Looked at a white, tall. Well, it is. There are questions that just ought not to be asked. And that's one of them. I pointed at a tall white male sitting there. I said, will you go, please? Oh, okay. And he, look at me. I'm tall and white. I'm okay. So I pointed at a taller black woman. I said, can you come here? So they stood on my left, the white man on my left, and the black woman on my right. And I said to the audience, and I was thinking, let them not fail this test. Because these were all department heads and administrators. I said, now, do you folks see any differences here and there? Yeah, I said, what's the first difference you see? They said, height. That's the first difference they saw? I didn't go for it. I just said, okay. I said, this tall male, is your height important to you? Why? Did you earn it? No. Did it give you power? Yes. Your height gives you power. Absolutely. I thought, oh, fools, shut up. Shut up now. But they don't know enough to shut up. And I said to this black woman, is your height important to you? And she said, yes, but there are some other issues to deal with. I said, we'll get to them eventually. So I said, okay, his height gives him power. See any other differences here? So they said, age. I asked him if his age was important to him. Well, yeah, okay. Does it give you power? Yes. So you have power because of your height, because of your age. Yes. The black woman, is your age important? She said, yes. No, it doesn't give you power, but there are some other issues to deal with. So I said, once again, do you see any other differences here? This tall, pale male. Is sex important to you? But there are some other issues to deal with. So I said, once again, do you see any other differences here? And at that point, they said sex. And I said to this tall, pale male, is sex important to you? And then he got red as a beet. And I said, don't forget that. I just turned you into a man of color. Let's put him in a plus. He said, yeah, yes, his gender gives him power. I said, you're pretty powerful, aren't you? Yes, I'm not afraid of anything. So I said to this female, is your gender important to you? Yes, but there are other issues to deal with. I said, all right, we'll get to it. And finally, some woman said color. I said, thank you very much. This is the first time I've ever heard the word color. Now, are you talking about hair color? Skin color. She said, skin color. So I said to this fool on my left, is the fact that you're white important to you? Yes. I said, did you earn your color? No. Is it an award? No. And it's important to you? Yes. To give you power? Yes. Are you afraid of anything? You want to tell me? I don't have any fear at all. Nothing. I'm not afraid of anything. I thought, you just don't know when to shut up, do you, Whitey? I didn't say it. I was totally disgusted. So then I turned to this black woman and I said, is the color of your skin important to you? And she waited a long moment. And by this time, there was one tear slowly making its way down the side of that beautiful black face. And she said, I'm going to say something now that I've never said before. And I said, and that's because, she said, I'm ashamed of it. I said, and that would be, she said, I have 2 children, both daughters. She said, both times when, she said, I didn't want to think of what he'd have to go through. And I didn't want to think about what I'd have to go through when I lost him. And by that time, you heard a feather fall in that room. The only sound you heard was this man on my left, like, and I thought, cry, you SOB. You created the problem that you've got for yourself just now, and you enjoyed it. And I said to the group, All right. Well, this man doesn't fear anything. This woman has to be sure that she doesn't have a son. White women pray to have a son because the son will carry on the family name. She doesn't even have that privilege, that right, that much freedom. We're talking here about the land of the free, and I pointed to the man, and the home of the brave. That's what we're talking about. And that's what Colin Kaepernick refused to salute during that particular national anthem. People.
See, now I have a question though. The guys will carry on the generational lineage or whatever, but would it not be a smarter tactic to have more healed people to carry on generational lineage? No matter if it was a female or a male, but I believe more females are likely to heal other than male counterparts. And it's a bit more hard, especially when you have religious factors that play in barriers, and then the systemic, school system and, jailing system and educational system that play different parts and roles in everything. Life is by far way more easier for a female in that sense than it is for a male. And that's purposely done by design. I know that for a fact. But for it to be a melanated male on top of that, it's even harder. It's hard as fuck. Let me tell y'all something. I was so abused as a young child that I used to wish I was a boy instead of a girl. I used to wish that I was a boy instead of a girl because I felt like boys had it easier and yada, 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 but they really don't. Women do have it hard. We have it hard as fuck. But men have it even harder, especially our men.
In the stands. The land of the free and the home of the brave. The home of the brave were those black men on the field getting their face beat out so that they could have enough to live on in their later years.
That's facts. Systematically is made for everybody to go against women primarily, but especially the melanated woman, and especially our men. Why? Because they are our seeds. Like, they literally are our seeds. Like, we birthed them.
You wanna free us, pay them teachers like they senators. I pray my brother see the king in his people. I pray my sister see the queen in her people. Yeah. I should pay my taxes, yet they pay us minimum wage. Pulled up with that pulled the shots, I ain't no gays. Cause we ain't gonna rest until them folks is caged. Ooh, nah. I made a million and I never went to Harvard.
I like her music. At singing, cured by sing. SINGKIRBYSING. Oh, I think that's her channel. I think that's actually her channel. It is. Here, look. Check out her music. I like her music. It's very influential.
gays, cause we ain't gonna rest it till them folks is gay. Ooh, yeah, nah. I made $1 million and I never went to high. But I told my daddy he gon' have a wealthy daughter. Black of the berry melanin, my alma mater. Ooh, we use a bad one. Dr. Gotti said my skin was such a beauty. Ooh, we use a bad. God bless America. You wanna free us, pay them teachers like they senators.
Like her music. After they pass over, they no longer resonate with their birth given name on this earth. Cabbage boil. Oh, ooh, that reminded me. I got a cabbage to boil. Damn it. Onion. Damn, but I do not want that hot and spicy. I got enough hot and spicy right now.
For fun, her powers go way beyond what most people realize. She doesn't just summon storms, she controls the entire atmosphere, meaning she can manipulate pressure systems, hurricanes, blizzards, and even the oxygen level around her enemies. She's beaten some of Marvel's strongest characters, including Wonder Woman in a crossover, and even T'Challa, the Black Panther. Oh, and did I mention she once took on the Phoenix Force and survived? But here's where it gets crazy. Storm isn't limited to Earth's weather. She's controlled galactic storms in space, reshaped planetary climates, and even tapped into mystical energy. Some versions of her, like when she wielded Mjolnir, put her at literal god-tier power levels. What do you think? Is Storm one of the most underrated powerhouses in Marvel? Let me know in the comments. You think Storm just controls the weather? Think again.
I like that. Definitely not interested. So that's gonna be it tonight. For tonight, y'all. We were definitely supposed to talk about some more, but I should have wrote it down. I gotta get back on. I gotta get back on that discipline for real. Like writing it down in a book. Damn, he is ugly. Oh, let me stop. My bad. His face too look like that. Fat ass. Talking about somebody healthy. Boy, please. Stay in your lane. It's damn near about 1 o'clock. 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. 6 o'clock, that boy, look. I'm loving getting into my element. Oh, sometimes I think I should have used some clear eyes when I used to get high. I was like, I don't care who sees me. Shit. You could definitely tell my eye line is when I used to get high. But it is what it is. So, I'm pretty sure that'll clear up with fasting too. When I get to juicing, it'll probably clear up more. But on the dietary, plant-based meals, and what I regularly do is working out. I'm actually losing weight. And I'm really surprised. I'm surprised. I was like, I done lost weight. I wasn't expecting that. But I was kind of expecting kind of even out, but I keep dropping. So I'm like, what's going on? And that's all I want to tell y'all, like, on the energetic level. Like, I feel like there's a change. There's a major change and a major shift. And I've been feeling it too on the energetic level. This change and this shift and what it pertains to. But now I know that makes sense too. As far as birthing, going through labor, and things like that. Like bringing new things into existence and letting old things go. Ooh. Ooh, that can have a lot to do with it. Wow. I didn't think of it like that, but I mean, wow. Well, that is a thing though. Like, emotional damage is a real thing, right? So, when you're closing out old cycles and letting go of old things, and moving forward in your life and dropping that spiritual weight, you become lighter, right? So, they can definitely be energetic and, healing on a, on a spiritual level. I almost said metaphysical for whoever that resonates with, but on the spiritual level, putting your burdens down. The next, why silent? What are you talking about? But dropping and like healing things, not taking old shit with you, that is a good thing. Oh my god. Yeah, especially with the confirmations that I've been getting, it's fucking crazy. But I'm grateful, and it hurts. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it made me cry, like, even though I've channeled the energy already and I like knew and was aware about it, but for it to be like cycling out right now in the form that it is, it's like crazy for me. Like, I'm just going through, dark night of the soul type thing too, but it's like, and then lunar eclipse on the 7th of this September 2025. So the lunar eclipse, and it's a Neptune and Saturn retrograde. God damn. Woo! Oh shit! To beat that shift, oh my god! To beat that shift is a great accomplishment. Because I'm telling you, for people that haven't been doing the work, the healing work, and really been working on it, that Saturn retrograde, I bet, is kicking their ass right now. And let me tell y'all too, something personal. I was so close to losing it. I was very close to losing it because of my phone. Y'all should know how I feel about my phone. If it's not pertaining to like my children for real, you know what I mean? Or, something that I really love and care about. Like, and right now, it's always been like a really sensitive place where I have to, keep my phone up as a mom. Keep your phone up so you can, stay in contact and stuff. So I just wish I would have made a different decision, but you you come in some people's life to bring them karma simply because they need it. And it's just really affecting my phone. But I'll be okay. It's only temporary, right? But I was really close to like losing my shit on dude. And I'm glad I didn't, and I'm glad that I'm just really letting God take care of it, because I've really been doing that, and dealing with certain things to that's another thing, to keep my stress level down, even though things have been very stressful. But I've been doing things to also keep my stress level down, and really just being kind and patient with myself, and giving others that grace to where they have room to grow, heal, and evolve in whatever way they're going to have to. So I was really close to going dark. I'll say that much. I was very close to going dark on this person that messed with my phone, and these other little people that are playing, breaking my doorbell and playing with my mail and shit. And then this other lady, just a whole plethora of things that people are just, they can't mind their business. Ultimately, is the issue. But those are things that are outside of my control. So dealing with things that are within my control is helping with that. And just giving it to God for real, and letting God handle it. And or being patient enough to let God see me through ultimately. And I feel very good about that. I feel very grateful, and I'm so glad I didn't do it. Because you know what? That would have fucked up a lot of shit. Shit that I worked so hard for. Like, people don't understand. Like, all these videos have meaningful something, healing something for somebody in them. And I'm just glad. I was like, oh, this was a major transit. And I just been intuitively doing things, moving, you know what I'm saying? Just really letting the spirit guide my body, and everything, it's been less controlled. Less controlled. It's a good thing. So I'm glad I didn't do that. And I chose the high road because Lord knows right now. I didn't want to, but I did. And that's how it be sometimes in a lot of situations. We don't be wanting to take the higher road sometimes, but in hindsight, you will find what you need. It's not gonna be always what you want, how you want it, and when you want it. God's timing, God's plan, and letting it be just that. It's not easy. So, needless to say, I'm just glad you have me hot. But in the spiritual realm, he's fucked. And that's all it is. And letting it be at that, whatever God has to tend to handle that person, it is what it is. Consequences to my stress. There's a signal. So, y'all, love yourself. Don't give up. Because, man, I was on the verge of really wanting to whoop somebody else. Bro, I have to not abuse my powers. I really do have to not abuse my powers. So, yeah, he was close to getting the full whammy. And that was gonna come back on me, ultimately. And my lineage. So shit. All the generational curses. I done broke, nigga, you got me fucked up. You da 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 da. You got me fucked up. Fucked up. You got me fucked up. You got me fucked up. Fucked up. Ain't sang that in about a year. Oh damn. So y'all don't give up. At the precipice. We don't play with me. What do you think? Don't play with me about my babies. But people gonna figure it out one way or another. I ain't scared. They ain't scared either. They hear somebody dies. I love them to death, boy. So that's my little spiel on the dark side. And I was looking at how the alignments went and everything. I said, that could have been really ugly for me. We got to be more careful. But I was very careful because I had to take that time for me. Like, oh, lucky I have saved myself. And I want to continue to do so. And I have to be an inspiration of my walk, and an inspiring inspiration of my walk. And just to let y'all know, I get tried and tested in the worstest of ways. And that was it. My laptop is dead completely. It will not charge for shit. I'm not happy about that shit. For one, because I was not planning on investing money that I didn't have to do when I could have just left my laptop at home. Mind you, the motherfucker fixed it, but he broke my charger. So there's nothing wrong with you. Come pick it while he was playing on my damn YouTube, right? And my phone, my battery is swelling up. So I'm fucking pissed about that. I have to look at my phone every day right now as it's on top of all of everything else I gotta do. So it's just like you just put like extra burdens on me. But God got you. It's okay. I'm gonna let God have the way. Because if I take it into my own hands, it won't be good. So, and then not to say other things in the spiritual realm that is going on. Jesus. It's not all bad, but it's, you know what I'm saying, it's trying. It's very trying. So I just thank God I'm okay. It's just extra money out of pocket I wasn't planning on spending. And it's like, you know, if I had a way to try to get you, that's what that Saturn return is about. Oval cycles coming back to test your ass. See, when my ear turned red. My ear did not like that. So, yeah, that's my dark side. Ultimately. And people fucking with children. So, I'm not happy whatsoever. So, we'll see. We shall see. I did get some good news though. I'm liking the results. So we're gonna keep rolling with the good energy. You know what I'm saying? It works. You just gotta be patient. You gotta be kind. You gotta be forgiving, because some people make you want to smack the shit out their ass, or worse. And don't do the worst, please. Please don't have me over here fucking worried. Please don't have me over here worried. I'm already going through enough. We already going through enough. Please don't have me worried about having to come and find you to give you a fucking hug. Because if I have to go to the extent, yes, I will. I love you. I know you love you, and you have other things that love you. We are committed now in what we have agreed upon before we came into this realm. Let's keep walking our good walk, because you are worthy. Just, you are loved. Okay? Don't give up. You are not in this fight alone, by far. Us as a collective, but I'm seeing it. And of course, I don't like it. But I'm trying to be very calm and gentle about things instead of rampaging. I'm trying to let the ancestors and God rampage right now. Because if I get summoned in this physical realm, I'm loving the soft energy that I've been in. And I really need to stay there for the rest of this year. Okay? So, hug me through the phone, through the video, get a hug. It's okay. You're not alone. You're never alone. Okay? Hello, how are you? You're never alone. So, in your nose, out your mouth. Be great. I love you. All right? Love yourself. Don't give up. Or I will come and find you. You're blocked. Talking about show something. Show this. Go make another channel so you can come follow me, start with somewhere, and I can block you from there again. Okay? Well, say something else stupid to me. Y'all be great. Love you. Okay? I swear. You promise now. You promise. Keep your promise.